You could never imagine, could you?
That I don't really look like that.
Don't believe it, because that's actually what I look like. This is the drag. So it's Samhain. Um, it's that time of the year when a lot of when, as they say, the veil is the thinnest. People all over the world celebrate, remember, commemorate the dead. I feel like because it's going towards winter, we automatically, our minds start to think about the dead. And it starts to get ready for, the cold, the dry, the dead. And we as a collective globally start to overthink. And hence all the rituals come up. And I like that. I don't mean overthink in a bad way. And so I wanted to take this opportunity to actually deal with something that I was overthinking about. Um, Recently, it so happened that people I loved. Okay, before that, I need to say that um, I love everyone I ever come across or don't come across. And so when I do come across certain people, um, that love feels more immediate. And for a lot of the time, that love is not obviously as reciprocated. Like it's not of the same type as mine, and I don't even want it to be. Like, no love is conditional for me, you know. But what does happen is that I approach that love from a place of the universe, from a place of spirituality. But what I face is very real, very real. How do I say this? Like physical, human restraints that come with our bodies and our egos and competition with each other, things like that. So because of that, recently some people um, really let me down in a pretty big way. And initially I was trying not to sort of talk to them about it, or retaliate, or stand my ground, basically not even retaliate, quite honestly. Something was being taken away. That's what it felt like at the moment, but now I know it's not true. I just changed my view. That thing was that it did happen. It's not like I'm saying that nothing happened. Things happened, but I was already in a very vulnerable place. I was sick for a really long time. Um, Things at my family were not going the best, and I was already feeling like a little bit like beaten by circumstances. And that's when this unpleasant news was broken to me, and in a very unpleasant way. I don't think the change itself was the problem. The problem was the way that it was like communicated. And like the person doing the communicating, I was just hurt. And it felt like I was being attacked, because everything was feeling like an attack, like from life. And so I retaliated, not retaliated like properly. And initially I was scared, like, what if, this chance is taken away from me if I talk too much or whatever. But later, after I opened my mouth, metaphorically, it was on messages, I realized my fear was actually not about what if I open my mouth. It was actually about I am afraid I'm going to hurt them too much. And so that's the dark side that just, reared its head. Um, and I did retaliate in a pretty stingy way. Um, Later, I much later, because I kept overthinking about it, and I apologized to the person about my way of communicating, and I was really proud of myself that I mentioned that I was not apologizing for what I spoke up for, because it was the right thing to do. And so a lot of overthinking had also happened about, what if the related people, what if I lose them, what if, because I love them as well, um, people not directly part of this communication that I was telling you about. And I didn't want to lose, like, who wants to lose people you love, right? Nobody does. And so I was in my head quite a lot about, like, what's going to happen with them, because I'm going to see them, and what's going to happen with them. Um, and I really didn't need to worry about that, because later, I'm not saying that was wrong, because I was just like caught up, because I do have OCD, and I was caught up with that. um, and so that's what I want to, like, I'm bringing up this whole story to sort of illuminate the dark sides to yourself you don't want to face, circumstances you don't want to face. I didn't want to face any of it. But now I am so glad that I did. I'm getting emotional. I'm so glad that I faced it, because it felt like I was given like a test. For the longest time, I couldn't uh, advocate for myself. And this was one time when the stakes were high-ish, and still I advocated for myself, even though there was fear. Look. And I'm so glad, and I advocated a bit too much. Now I know how to find the balance. There we go. Um, but I feel like this is what we need to do when it comes to celebrating festivals like Samhain, which ask us to look into the dark side. It's not so that we can go there and get stuck. All of these festivals with the ghosts, I feel like it's about facing what haunts us. And what was haunting me was what I told you for a long time. And now I'm being able to, like, because I was able to face the whole situation, and about the people whose love I was afraid of losing, because they had only really seen the kind me, the me that I am when I'm my best self. And I feel like even if I did retaliate in a pretty snaky way, though I love snakes, I think they get a bad rap. I feel like what they did witness was the very best of me. The me that was not afraid of having a strong ass spine. who could advocate for themselves. And if I have to lose people while I'm doing this, that's okay. Now, while all this was happening, I was also like planning what to talk about during this really lovely event that I um, was a part of. Um, I think I'll show you a little glimpse of that. More than like a decade ago, I think. And here, like, it's always like a quest about like what is inside me. So like I needed to see, and I needed for it to be like a conversation, to sort of visualize what I was doing. So I was talking to myself, and that's where that's what that is. And so this was about a bunch of neurodivergent queer people, neuroqueer people basically, coming together who are also artists and sharing our worldviews with everyone. And that's what I dressed up for. I look like the alien, the beautiful creature that I really am. But basically, this is my interpretation of a certain kind of Bengali bridal sort of a look. This one element of the Bengali bride, and I just ran with it and made a character out of it. And that character is me, basically neuroqueering my Bengaliness, my being Bengali. So that's what this is. And also, in our culture, we wear white when dealing with the dead, to offer purity to the dead. And so I'm mixing this very alive ritual of bride with this very dead ritual of death, and saying that, it's all the same. Life and death are all the same. Um, the veil is thin because we are all always living in the liminal space. We make up these structures because sometimes it feels like we are going with the flow a bit too much and we are afraid of drowning, I guess. And so that's what the event was about. Absolutely brilliant artists shared their worlds with, and so it was like a convergence of many different worlds. And so that's what. So because I was planning for this event, like what I'm going to show, how I'm going to talk about love, and it was about love. That's why when this period of darkness, of overthinking got over, I felt like I was personally being able to celebrate this with a community, which for the first time it felt like community. A lot of the times it doesn't feel like community because there is some form of hierarchy. Here it didn't feel like that. And so I'm so grateful to have gone through that experience. Even more grateful that at the end of it, I was able to celebrate myself with my people. And so that's what I wanted to share with you. Yeah, that's it. I'll show you my look. Hold on. And my kid. He's very wet. I'm thinking he has licked himself quite thoroughly. Okay. quite late. I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. If you take something from this video, do remember to like. Share with me what do you think, what do you feel, what you went through during the dark times. And this is not the darkness, I don't think, of fear. I feel like this is the darkness before we bring the light with us, you know, the light that we create. I feel like that's what this darkness is about. It's not about being afraid. And let me know how you celebrated this time of the year. I love you, even if I haven't met you so much. Meeting you doesn't matter. You still have my love. Share it if you feel called to it, and if you're new here, do subscribe. I like having you here. That's it. That's it. I wonder if I have things to show from my city. Things which I like, which are not sensory overwhelmed, but sensory euphorias.